Hi, my name is Kaila Squires. I'm originally from Queens, New York, and I'm a second-year MBA student here at Wharton. Prior to coming to Wharton, I worked for General Electric for 6 years across different businesses like aviation, energy, and renewable energy, and I was in roles related to finance and supply chain. In terms of my research that I did for figuring out how to pay for my Wharton MBA, thankfully I was able to receive a scholarship from Wharton, which was really great. So that took care of a good portion of the funds that I would have to pay out. In addition to that, I also relied on the resources from the MBA admissions office. I know prior to coming to Wharton, they sent out emails regarding the federal loans that you could take out, so I utilized that as much as I could. And then in addition to that, I asked friends about what lenders they found were the best in terms of affordability and rates, and I used that to figure out who I was going to use for my private lender. One thing that really helped me in terms of managing my money was coming in with a budget that worked for me. I know people coming from different backgrounds, different jobs they had prior to Wharton, so I think it's really imperative that you take an assessment of your own finances and see what makes sense. Specifically for me, I felt that I could cut back in certain places that really wouldn't affect my standard of living or my ability to enjoy the Wharton MBA. For example, one thing I did was to live in a brownstone versus a high-rise. And I think that's something that was pretty simple, and it really didn't affect my social life, but it was something where I could save $1,000 or so a month. And so that to me was a worthwhile measure to take. In addition to that, I think, just being smart about where I spent my money was just something that helped as well. So I wanted to spend a lot of my money on travel and maybe like buying clothes or shopping for different events that we have at Wharton versus other areas. So I think that was something that helped me as well, is just to stay within my boundaries. And I think everyone will kind of figure that out for themselves, and you should just, figure out what's important to you and spend your money on those things. One great way to travel here at Wharton is through some of the student treks that we do. But in addition to that, we also have GIP and GMC programs, which are for credit. And I think that's an amazing experience and gives you the opportunity to explore a new culture, country, and also to learn about a very interesting topic of your choice. One great thing here at Wharton is that there is an available resource to help with the funding for a GIP and GMC. It's called the Student Experience Fund. And I myself have been a beneficiary of this program, so I'd highly recommend that people look into it and apply, and hopefully they're able to get this grant, because I think it can really help a lot of people go on these amazing excursions and experiences. Hey, I understand completely what it's like to coming into a 2-year MBA program. In a lot of sense, you are forfeiting money. There's an opportunity cost there from a job that you might have had prior, and you're also paying to be here. But I would love to encourage you all to think hard and long about this decision, because it is an amazing experience that will transform you. I can personally say that I've come here and grown so much since I've been at Wharton, and it's been a worthwhile experience despite the cost that I am going to inevitably have to pay. But one thing I will say is that when you think about the grand scheme of your career and your life, there's a huge ROI that comes from your Wharton MBA, and I've actually done the math on this in my finance class, so I can tell you that the types of jobs, the types of access, the network that you'll be able to tap into after you graduated with your Wharton MBA is amazing. And so I would encourage you to think about that when you're making a decision, and not to stress over the money as much. One great way of also getting additional income, or more passive income, is to think about actually doing case competitions, which a lot of people don't talk about very often, but there are sometimes like national competitions or more local, regional competitions put on by schools. And if you can get the right team together, you could make some good money.